If you missed my last video, you should go check it out. I did a business case on Jumia and how you can build the next Amazon of Africa, more or less. But today, in this business case, I want to look at another tech company out of Nigeria, Kobo360. Interesting name, isn't it? So the company was built to revolutionize logistics in the continent. If you ever wonder how to build a successful businesses by solving real problem, I think you should follow me. You should subscribe on my YouTube as well to actually learn as I bring some of these business cases to you. So now let's dive in. First, let's talk about the problem Kobo360 is solving. Africa's logistics industry is messy. We all know. Think about it. Bad roads, high cost, and a lack of transparency. Businesses genuinely struggle to move goods efficiently, and truck drivers often don't get paid fairly. And this is where Kobo360 comes in. They saw how broken the system is and they wanted to fix it. So here's how they did it. So Kobo360 built a digital platform that connects cargo owners like manufacturers and retailers with truck drivers. Imagine Uber, but for moving goods instead of people. So cargo owners can book shipments, track them in real time, and get transparent pricing. Drivers get more jobs, fair pay, and access to tools like fleet management and insurance. Sounds like a win-win, isn't it? I think it is. Now let's talk about how they actually make money. How does Kobo360 really make money? Well, here's some thoughts for you. So transaction fee, which will make sense, they take a small cut from every shipment booked on their platform. But they also have a subscription model. So businesses that ship frequently can pay for premium plans with extra perks. And they also introduce value-added services. Think about it. They have the problem, but they don't only provide a core solution, they provide alternative ecosystem around it. So they offer things like logistics, insurance, fuel, discount, and fleet management tools for a fee. And then data monetization. They collect and sell data to companies and government. By diversifying their revenue stream, Kobo360 stays financially stable and scalable. But I want you to think about it. Think carefully about it. The idea is to build a core solution to your problem, but also build alternative offering around that. So today, Kobo360 is in Nigeria, and then they expanded to Kenya, Ghana, Togo, Uganda. They've gone to raise more than $37 million from big name investors like Goldman Sachs and IFC. That's a huge vote of confidence if you have Goldman Sachs or IFC investing in your company, especially when you're building in Africa. But it hasn't all been smooth sailing, right? Kobo360 have faced some challenges. From bad roads and infrastructure, moving goods in Africa isn't really that easy. But you also have drivers that are very traditional. So many drivers kept it, right? They didn't trust the platform at first. And you also have the regulatory side. Different countries, different rules. So how did they overcome all of these challenges? By staying adaptable, building trust, and most importantly, by focusing on their mission. So let's talk about some of the lessons. We've talked about the problem they're solving. We've talked about how they're approaching it. They talked about how they are overcoming some of their challenges. So if you want to build a Kobo360, what really do you have to do? Or if you're building anything with regards to this specific sector, what do you have to look for? So firstly, find a pain point in your market. So for Kobo360, it was goods and services, which was incredibly hard because you could think about the fact that truck drivers would not normally have like opportunity to be able to transport as much as they can, and even if they make those trips, their trucks are almost empty, so it doesn't really provide value. And cargo holders will normally pay exorbitant fee to actually be able to simply share very small amount of goods. So on the platform, you can find a truck without having to pay for the whole space, and be able to just share that cost with other people. There are other companies globally that are actually doing this that are also pretty successful. Kobo360 saw that opportunity, seized the problem in the continent, and decide to fix it. Another thing is leverage technology. I'm just talking about technology today because it just makes things faster and cheaper, but it also makes things a lot more transparent. Build trust. Remember, you're building for people. You're not just building a fancy and you're assuming that everybody will actually just like it because you're solving the problem for them or you're providing them opportunity to solve their problem themselves. No, people in the continent love to work with people who naturally they consider trustworthy. So be transparent, and most importantly, especially because it's a delivery service or any other service, ensure that you build reliability, especially when you're dealing with a continent wherein a lot of people are still adapting to tech as a lot of skeptical stakeholders. And then also, one of the key things that is important for you to think about when you're building your company, or especially if you've built and you've proven in one market, operationally scaling to another market, you have to think about the fact that yes, it seems like we all share the same things, same culture even, but every market is very unique. So be willing to adapt to local context, understand these markets and their unique challenges, and tailor your solutions to fit them. Another thing that is very crucial, and I tell all the entrepreneurs that I've worked with, is that it is important that when you build your problem, you really zoom in to provide a solution that solves the core of that problem. But don't just stop there. Build an ecosystem of revenue, an ecosystem of support around that. Diversify your revenue. Don't just rely on just one way to make money. Think thoroughly on how you can make money by offering absolute 360, or you will say an absolute ecosystem that allows you to be able to have multiple streams of income. For Kobo360, insurance, data monetization, and many more. And there are other companies that are doing that very well. Finally, you want to be resilient because challenges are going to come your way. Would you let them stop you? That's a question for you. And that also will take into significant consideration your appetite and how far you're willing to go. Because building in the continent today is still very hard. Building everywhere is hard. So it takes the most resilient of people to actually overcome all of the challenges that you will meet and be able to build consistently and innovate and adapt and be able to provide your solution to the people that you're actually hoping to solve problems. So it is also important that as you're building, whatever ideas you have to be able to build with the right team. So having an idea is just one thing. It absolutely is just one thing. And one of the best entrepreneurs in the world will tell you this for a fact, that the insane idea they have in their head, the incredible vision they have, are all backed by really incredible people. So you have to be able to understand how to identify these people and build with them. Execution is key, especially in Africa. You want to be able to have a team that execute at a game-changing pace and in a very innovative way. Consider Kobo360, for example. So they still have some challenges within their team and especially within their leadership structure. But because of the early days and the team they put together, they've been able to move over 1 million shipments and work with giants like Unilever and Dangote Group. They can do it. Believe it, you can also. So, what problem are you going to solve? Let me know if you have any idea of any business that you've seen or the business that you're building right now or what sector you're building, and I'll find a company that is innovating in that space and that is doing incredibly well to build a business case that you can learn from. Subscribe to me, follow me on all of my social media handles on TikTok, Instagram, and on YouTube. Until next time.